It's a great question. I don't have the answer.
That's a great answer, actually.
But I think we will have an answer in the coming years.
Ma buongiorno, buon pomeriggio, buonasera ragazzoli e ragazzuole, dipende da quando state guardando questa puntata. È da un bel po' che pensavo di ricominciare a fare dei video più lunghi sul canale rosso, su YouTube, ma volevo aspettare la giusta occasione. E quale occasione migliore se non la visita, dopo quasi 10 anni, di uno degli scrittori più acclamati della nostra epoca. Sto parlando di Dottor Brown, autore di numerosi romanzi thriller, tra cui quelli della famosa saga che ha come protagonista il professor Robert Langdon, quello che nei film è interpretato da Tom Hanks. Basta pensare a Il Codice Da Vinci, Angeli e Demoni, Inferno, Il Simbolo Perduto, Origin e per ultimo, di nome e di fatto, il suo ultimo romanzo intitolato L'Ultimo Segreto, edito Rizzoli. Qua è stato anche molto carino, mi ha lasciato una dedica From one teacher to another, da un insegnante ad un altro, e la sua firma Much appreciated. Sapete che le mie interviste vertono molto sull'aspetto linguistico e Dan Brown mi è sembrato l'ospite perfetto per iniziare questa nuova avventura. Il nostro scrittore di thriller era un ex professore d'inglese e conosce anche lo spagnolo e molto spesso gli indovinelli e gli enigmi che troviamo all'interno dei suoi testi sono risolvibili solo attraverso il linguaggio. Without further ado, vi lascio a questa stimolante intervista e buona visione.
Ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
God, I'm so nervous.
No,
Okay, here we go.
My questions are mainly going to be language related because
Oh,
I'm a
cool.
linguist.
Oh, wow, great.
Yeah, and I was actually pleased to know that you were an English teacher yourself.
I was an English teacher. I studied a bunch of languages and, speak English and Spanish. That's it.
Great. I've got some questions about that.
Okay.
I'd like to focus on translation first.
Super.
Because your books are read all over the world, translated in more than 50 languages. So that got me thinking. I was like, what if some of the enigmas and riddles get lost in translation? Are you worried about that?
You know what? I think it's harder to write a book than provide a good translation. So if, for example, in Thailand, the book comes out, if it does well and people enjoy it, I'm guessing that they did a pretty good translation. I have no idea. I have no way of knowing. My publisher, fortunately, is bilingual in whatever country it is that I'm publishing in, so they tell me it's a good translation. But it's funny, in this book, there are a couple of language challenges that surround gender. In the United States, we have the word they.
Yeah.
In English, we have they, which functions as a singular neuter almost.
Yeah.
And that does not exist in Italian, or a lot of languages it doesn't exist in, and that caused the translators a bit of a problem with a few of the twists in this book.
Of course. And what about the title of the book that was translated in Italian? I mean, the original title is The Secret of Secrets. Il Segreto dei Segreti, right? But in Italian, it turned into The Last Secret, L'Ultimo Segreto.
It's funny, I think I've read this as the ultimate, as in the greatest secret, but maybe that's not, because somebody has said, oh, is this your last book? Because it's the last secret. Publishers, you just have to trust that they understand their market, they understand their language. For example, in Germany, the Da Vinci Code, when it arrived in the German edition, it was called sacrilege, Sacrilege. I thought, what?
Wow.
So publishers generally will change the cover, they'll change the title to fit their market, and you just have to trust that they know more than you do about their market.
Yeah, adaptations might get rough at times. Yeah. So the vast majority of the story is set in Prague, so Czech language is used.
Yes.
Also, there's a conversation between policemen. Sometimes policemen respond to Langton in Czech, right? And you decided to keep the original language and not often translate it. I mean, the narrator sometimes translate it, but not always.
Right.
So why keeping a language that most people probably will find hard to understand or will struggle with in general?
For that exact reason, that you put yourself in Langdon's point of view. If the character who is the point of view character at that moment doesn't understand Czech, and you want to have their experience, you hear the language, it means nothing to you, and you have to get your clues from context. It's a way of really inserting the reader into the scene.
Right.
And letting them know, like, look, Langdon doesn't understand it either.
It kind of forces the readers to do some digging.
Sure.
Yeah. And I did some digging as well, because yesterday I was lucky enough to watch your interview at theatre.
Oh, that was a
right?
fun night, yeah.
Yeah. And you got asked a question about your teaching career.
Yeah.
I'm a teacher myself, an English teacher, and I thought,
congratulations, fantastic.
thank you. And so I thought we got something in common.
Very much.
Yeah. So my question for you is, do you have any advice for young teachers to be good at their job?
Well, you know what? I mean, I've always believed there are two tricks to teaching. One is to make it fun. I mean, learning has to be fun. And if it's by rote and you're just memorizing lists and things, it's like nobody's going to learn. It has to be fun. And the way to make it fun is to make it relevant. You teach people things they can use, even if it's technically out of order with grammar or syntax or vocabulary, whatever it is you're doing. People need to feel like they can use the language.
Right.
And that's what makes it fun. And I mean, you know, when you learned English, that fun day when all of a sudden you said something and somebody responded. You said what time it is. They said, you know, what time is it? And they said it's 2:00. And you just had communicated in English. And you go like, this is fun.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I really think it all revolves around making it enjoyable.
That's great. And do you want to comment on what you said yesterday about teaching being the noblest profession?
Sure. I mean, I believe that from the bottom of my heart. The teaching is the noblest of all professions. My father was a phenomenal teacher. He won the Presidential Award in teaching in my country and went to the White House and the whole thing. And I grew up on the campus of Phillips Exeter Academy, which is one of the finest prep schools, high schools in the country. So I grew up surrounded by teachers. I lived in a dormitory with teachers.
Right.
And all of the students there who were my babysitters were some of the best students in the world who would come to this school. And they were my early teachers. So when it came time to create a hero, I chose a teacher, I chose a professor. And this is somebody who doesn't know how to use a gun, doesn't know how to beat people up. He has to use his mind to get out of situations. And these books really are my continuing to want to teach, even though I'm not in the classroom. Right. I have a bigger classroom now, I have more students. But I see these books as my learning process shared through a story, and ideally will teach on some level, but far more importantly, spark curiosity such that people can teach themselves. They can read more books.
Yeah, that's what I do in my content as well. I heard what you said yesterday about, bringing to the stage, so to speak, what you learn along the way and share that same passion so you can bring the reader, the viewer with you. So I do that. I never teach things that I already know in English, but I come across, for example, an interesting word and I just, make a content about it. So that's really, really useful advice.
And that's so fun for people.
Yeah, it is.
Linguistics is, it's just fun because you can't believe the etymologies of some of these words and phrases that you use every day. And it's funny, my fiance is Dutch and her English is very good, but I will sometimes use an idiom in English. You're pulling my leg. No, I'm not. It's like, okay, let me tell you why English is hard. Because it's so idiomatic, and I bet you have fun teaching your students idioms.
Yeah, exactly, through TV series and stuff like that, where there are plenty, right? Yeah, so going back to language, you talk about consciousness from a noetic and from a philosophical point of view. So I wanted to know, do you think consciousness itself has a language? There's a way for us to communicate through words with consciousness, or it's too much of an ethereal context to do so?
It's a fascinating question. I was just listening to an interview with Sam Altman, who's the founder of ChatGPT, talking about what's coming next as far as consciousness talking to consciousness via technology. And there is that question of language. Right. And language is it's a series of symbols. We got our alphabet and we arrange these symbols to convey ideas. And there is this question that if you have an idea that you don't put into language, can I understand that idea without language? And I think the answer is yes, because we have things like love, that we can understand without language. And I do believe that as we mature as a species and understand more about consciousness, that we will, and there are people who are telepathic. Yeah. And those people apparently do not always communicate via language. They communicate via emotions or colors or sounds. It's a great question. I don't have the answer.
That's a great answer, actually.
But I think we will have an answer in the coming years.
Okay. I usually ask a question during my interview, the final question.
Okay.
What's your favorite word? But actually, I wanted to make it a little bit more fun.
Okay.
So if the secret of secrets were a word, what would it be?
Glyph.
Nice. Thank you very much, Dr. Brown.
Pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Very nice to speak to you.
Thank you very
I
much.
wish all my interviews were this interesting.
Yeah?
Oops, I guess I'm on microphone here, but
That's fine.
what a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Ed eccoci al termine di questo primo episodio Comeback. Se vi è piaciuto questo video, lasciate un like, lasciate un commento e seguite questa pagina. Mi aiuterebbe parecchio per portare contenuti del genere e cercare di alzare sempre di più l'asticella. Quindi, thank you in advance, grazie in anticipo e ci vediamo alla prossima avventura. Have a good one.